Jai Shri Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, prayers by Queen Kuntī and Parīkṣit saved. Here in the verse 1, Sutta Goswami said, thereafter the Pandavas, after the punishment of Drona's son, thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganga with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front. So here in the verse 1 it is mentioned that Sutta Uvacha Athaha te samprapretenam swanam udhakam ichhatam tantum sansnagyan gangayam purush puraskritya yoyuhu trihaha. So here the purport is to date it is the custom in Hindu society to go to the Gangas or any other sacred river to take bath when death occur in the family. Each of the family members pours out a pot full of Ganga water for the departed soul and walk in a procession with the ladies in the front. The Pandavas also follow the rules more than 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, being a cousin of Pandavas, was also amongst the family member. So here in the next verse it was mentioned by Sutta Goswami that having lamented over them and is sufficiently offered Ganga water, they bathed in the Gangas, bath in the Gangas, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. So here it is mentioned te nini yodhakam sarve vilakshpya cha bhusah punah afruta haripadasya rajah putra srija jalem. So here in this verse it is clearly mentioned that the water is purified due to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. So here in the next verse 3, it was mentioned that there sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. So here it is mentioned Tatra Shitam Kuru Pratim धृतराष्ट्रं सहानुजं गन्धर्वीं पुत्रशोकरतं प्रथम कृष्णं च माधवम्. So here the purport is the battlefield of Kurukshetra was fought between family members, and those all affected persons were also family members like Maharaja Yudhishthira and brothers Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and her daughters-in-law, etc. All the principal dead bodies were in the some way or other related with each other, and therefore the family grief was combined. Lord Krishna was also one of them as a cousin of Pandavas and nephew of Kunti, as well as brother of Subhadra, etc. The Lord therefore was equally sympathetic towards all of them, and therefore he begins to pacify them befittingly. So here in the next verse it was mentioned that setting the stringent law of Almighty and their reaction upon living being, Lord Krishna and the Munis begins to pacify those who were shocked and affected. So here it is mentioned Santho Yanayam Asamuni Vir Hatavandhuna Suchar Vretan bhutesu kalisya gantim dharyasanna pratikriyam. So here the purport is the stringent law of nature under the order of a supreme personality of a Godhead cannot be altered by any living entities. The living entities are eternally under the subjection of Almighty Lord. The Lord makes all the law and orders, and these law and orders are generally called dharma of or a religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is to abide by the order of the Lord. Lord's order are clearly declared in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Everyone should follow him only or his orders, and that will make all happy, both materially and spiritually. As long as we are in the material world, our duty is to follow the order of the Lord. And if by the grace of Lord we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated stage also we can render transcendental loving services unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. In our material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of a spiritual version. But when we are liberated from material affection and are situated in our original spiritual form, we can see both material conception of life. Therefore, human life is specially meant for qualifying ourselves for the spiritual liberty. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusionary material energy, we accept this spot life of only a few years as our permanent existence, and thus becomes illusioned by processing so-called country, home, land, children's wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representations created by Maya illusion. And under the direct dictation of Maya, we fight with another to protect these false possessions. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can realize that we have nothing to do with the material paraphernalia, that what once we become free from the material attachment, this clearance of a misgiving of material existence at once take by the association with the Lord devotee, one who are who are able to inject the transcendental sound into the depth of the bewildered heart, and thus make a one particular liberated from all limitation and illusion. That is a summary of the pacifying measures for those affected by the reaction of a transient material law exhibited in the form of birth, death, old age, and disease, which are insoluble factor of a material existence. The victim of war, namely the family member of Kurukshetra, we are lamenting the problems of death, and the Lord pacified them on the basis of knowledge. So here it is mentioned, here it is clearly mentioned that the sitting of a stringent law of Almighty and their reaction upon to the living being, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began specify those who are shocked and affected. Uh, the family member of the Kurukshetra war or the Mahabharata war, all are specified by Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis or the representative of Lord Sri Krishna. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.